Namaste to all. A very, very important mantra, Triambakam Yajamahe. Actually, this mantra is not Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra in the Vedic tradition. Somebody has named this mantra as Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra, but this is not a Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra. This is Rig Veda 7th Mandal 59th Sukta, I think 12th mantra. Yes. And also the same mantra is there in Yajurveda as 3 by 60, and Yajurveda has got one more extra line. Basically repetition with little bit of change in the pattern. So we must understand the meaning of this mantra. Today morning I was listening to a YouTube video on the chanting of Trambakam Yajamahe, and that video has got 8 million views or something like that. And in that one, many comments, one of the interesting comment was like, my father was in ICU, doctors gave up, doctor said your father cannot, it's not possible to save him. We as a family, we chanted this mantra 125 lakh times, and my father got okay. And now for the last many years, he is still okay. So thanks to Lord Shiva for this mantra. Thanks to the prayers. Some kind of comments like this. There are many comments. One lady has written, my daughter was in ICU. I chanted this mantra whenever I fed her. In 4 days, miraculously, she was okay. Thanks to the mantra. It's a very powerful mantra. These are extremely superstitious beliefs. Not because of the mantra somebody has, got cured from the ICU. We must understand that our current life is based on our previous life's deeds unless we follow the Vedic path. When we follow the Vedic path, God says in the Vedas, when you adopt Vedas in life, you can increase your lifespan. Otherwise, your lifespan is fixed. Even if you are in ICU, even if you are not chanting Triambakam Yajamahe, some miracle can happen based on your own life deed. Not miracle, actually, it is your deed. It is that person deed that he will go to ICU, doctor will say no, but still he is okay. In fact, Mahabharata says many things like this. Vyasmuni says, when he writes that a person who, lives on the roadside, he eats dirty food, but then he sometimes lives 100 years. A person who is living in a bungalow, he eats so rich food, so many vitamins, minerals, he dies at the age of 40 with with a big rogue. So these are the things which are naturally happening. It's not due to Triambakam Yajamahe mantra, because the mantra meaning is completely different than other, our beliefs. We are believing that by chanting this mantra, our lifespan will get increased. No. By chanting this mantra, nothing will happen unless and otherwise you are worshipping Almighty God as per the Vedas, because this is a Ved mantra. So please do not believe in superstitions. Because my Acharya, go to my playlist under my Acharya Pravachans, where my Acharya has explained the real story where Maharshi Danan Saraswati wants a king that don't do this, because he was doing Trambakam Yajamahe chanting by adopting pandits to save his son. Maharshi Danan Saraswati warns him. He says that don't do this, because the mantra says Yajamahe, you must do the worship, you must do the yajna yourself, you cannot delegate this activity. Then he doesn't listen. After 10 days the child will die. So we must understand, we must be very, very careful in superstition, because this mantra people have made, people means especially the pandits, they have made billions and millions of money. But we are devoid of Almighty God. We are devoid of the knowledge of the Almighty God. So please understand the meaning of the mantra. The mantra says Triambakam. Triambakam means Uktartam Rudram Jagadishwaram. Ambaka means eyes. God does not have eyes. Triambaka means one who is the seer of all the times, past, present, and future. Ambaka means eyes, but God is formless always. So the Triambakam indicates past, present, future. One who is present always, one who is a seer of all the times, one who knows everything. He is Almighty God. And Yajamahe means, Maharishi beautifully writes, Nityam Puja Yemahi. We must do Nitya Upasana of that Almighty God. How do you do Upasana of Almighty God? By Yoga Abhyas, by Yajna. Yajamahe means by doing Yajna. Yajna is always done in the presence of Acharya. We must go to an Acharya and worship Almighty God through Yajna, by putting ahutis in the burning fire, by listening Vedas, by serving Acharya, by serving our parents, by adopting vegetarianism, by adopting Ahimsa, by speaking the truth, by adopting Vedas in life. This is Yajamahe. This is the puja of Almighty God. Nityam, that too every day. There is no option of, leaving the puja. Without understanding this mantra, we are continuously chanting 125 lakh times, 100,000 times, 1,000 times. What is the use? Nothing is useful. In fact, it is against the Vedas, because we are worshipping Lord Shiva, who was a human being. Almighty God is not a human being. Lord Shivji Maharaj, who lived almost, let's say, more than 18 million years ago, before Sri Ram times, he was a great Vedic philosopher. He was a great yogi. He worshipped that Almighty God through the Vedas, but we are worshipping him through this Veda mantra, which is totally insult to Almighty God and insult to Shivji Maharaj also. So please let us be aware of these superstitions, because the more number of times we chant this mantra thinking that my lifespan will increase, my father will get okay, my daughter will get okay, it's going to impact us badly in the next janmas, because we are doing anti-Vedic worship. We cannot do worship of Shivji Maharaj chanting this mantra. Shivji Maharaj was a human being. We should not worship any yogi. We should worship the Almighty God through the Vedas. This is the Vedic philosophy. Because this is a Veda mantra, please understand that. And also the mantra says, Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam. My Acharya has beautifully written the meaning. In fact, Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam is a quality of Almighty God. Maharishi says, Shobhanah Shuddho Gandho Yasmat Tam. My Acharya has written very beautiful meaning in Hindi. My Acharya says, परमात्मा हमें वेद का ज्ञान देकर हमारे काम क्रोध आदि विकारों का नाश करके हमें श्रेष्ठ एवं शुद्ध करने वाला है. For people who do not know Hindi, my Acharya has written that Almighty God is the one who gives us the knowledge of the Vedas, and by destroying our Kam, Krodh, Madlob, Ahankar, he makes us Shreshth, he makes us Shuddh, he makes us pure. That's why his name is Sugandhim. See that this is the Almighty God whom we should worship, not any other Almighty. There is no other Almighty God, there is only one God. And Pushti Vardhanam. Maharshi writes in Sanskrit, Pushtehe Sharira Atma Balasya Vardhanastam. One who is doing palan poshan, one who is giving us all the food items, milk, paneer, cheese, what not, all minerals, all vegetables, all fruits, all rice, wheat, other crops, one who gives us everything for giving us bal, sharirik bal, and also Atma bal. Atma bal means he gives us the knowledge of the Vedas so that we are able to understand who we are. That is the Almighty God who is called as Pushti Vardhanam. We must worship that Almighty God, and leaving this Almighty God, in fact, Maharishi has written, Naiva Manushya Ishwaram Vihaya Kasyapya Anyasya Pujanam Kuryuhu Tasya Veda Vihitatvena Dukkha Falatvat. When we worship any other Almighty God, leaving this Almighty God, we will get always dukkha, we will not get sukha. Nobody else will come and save us. Nobody else has saved that father or daughter. It is their own karmas. They will live, and then they will peacefully, based on their karmas, they will pass one day. They will pass away one day. Everybody has to die. I have to die. You have to die. But chanting this mantra will not give us dirgayu, because we are chanting the mantra against the Vedas. The mantra says do yajna. The mantra says do acharya seva. The mantra says do name jap. Yajamahe also means nitya puja. Nitya puja means name jap also. We are not doing name jap. We are doing something else. So here uruvarukum iva bandhanat. Uruvarukum means we can say a cucumber. A cucumber, when it gets ripened, it automatically comes out of the bale. That means when it gets ripened also, it becomes so much tasty. In fact, when it gets tasty only, it gets ripened and comes out automatically. So we are praying to Almighty God here in this mantra, similar to that urva rukum iva, means similar to that cucumber, the ripened cucumber which comes out of the bale automatically. Me also, let me complete my purna ayu. Let me live up to a minimum 100 years of age by doing everyday puja, by doing everyday agnihotra, by doing everyday name jap. Let me live my complete lifespan, and then let me come out of the birth and death cycle, similar to that cucumber. And then the mantra says, Mukshiya Ma Amritat. Ma Amritat means Ma means Nishede, Amritat means Moksha Sukhat. Let me not come out of the moksha, let me come out of the Mrityu, but let me not come out of the moksha. So here this is a very, very important prayer. See, we are praying to Almighty God that let me come out of the death and birth cycle by doing your worship. But today we are chanting this mantra in YouTube by playing some cassette or by employing some pandit, whereas God says don't delegate. I cannot do prayer on behalf of you. You have to do your own prayer. You have to do your own tapasya. I cannot say that I am doing tapasya on behalf of you. God does not allow it. God says, Yajamahe. Vayam yajame means let us do ourselves. Similarly, Dio Yonah Prachodhyat means we must ourselves meditate upon Almighty God. We must not employ somebody else to meditate on our behalf. Please understand that this is not acceptable. And further, the mantra also has a word Amutaha. The mantra is not one line. Please understand. Trambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urva rukumiva bandhanan mrityur mokshiya mamritat. Then again Trambakam yajamahe sugandhim pativedanam urva rukumiva bandhana dito mokshiya mamutaha swaha. Same meaning, but amutaha means let me, if I am unable to get moksha in this janma, let me get the fal. The fal means the result of the pious Vedic deeds in my next janma. And in the next janma, let me try to get moksha. We are praying to Almighty God. Pati Vedanam also means Almighty God. Sometimes, we can also say Pati Vedanam means also our Acharya. We are praying to our Acharya because Acharya is important in our moksha. In our path to moksha, Acharya is extremely important. So we can also say Acharya as well as Almighty God. Both of us kindly bless us. We are doing everyday Agnihotra. You cannot do Agnihotra without the knowledge given by Acharya. If your Acharya gives you your knowledge, of course it's the knowledge of Almighty God, but Acharya is also very essential part of our worship. So this is extremely important mantra, but please be away from superstitions. We cannot do this chanting of this mantra without adopting Vedic worship. Like, sitting in a Shiva temple and then saying Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam. Like, different types of swara are there. Somebody chants Trambakam in South India, they say Triambakam. No, this is wrong. Trambakam. It's Trambakam. In North India, in Arya Samaj, in other places, they say Trayambakam. Both are okay actually. If you are getting this knowledge from an acharya, both are actually okay, because the meaning does not change if you chant Triambakam or Trayambakam. The meaning will change. For example, I made a video 2 days back. Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasuva Yadbhadran or Yadabhadran, the meaning will change. But here Triambakam or Trayambakam, the meaning does not change. So either you chant this or that, it doesn't matter. In fact, my acharya says, even Arya Samaji also I have listened many times. Trayambakam, like, if you see, this is Arya Samaj chanting. I got this audio. They chant. They say Trayambakam. So it's okay. Trayambakam or Trayambakam does not matter because the meaning does not change. Please understand, we are worshipping that Almighty God who is formless. We are worshipping that Almighty God who is present in the past, who is present in the present, and who is present in the future. And we are worshipping that Almighty God by the way of worship that is mentioned in the Vedas. And we are not doing idol worship, because idol worship is against Vedas. And further, this mantra has got another word. Yajamahe, there is another word, Nirantar Satkar Purvak Dhyan. So that means doing everyday meditation, name jap of Almighty God, doing dhyana of that Almighty God is also part of the daily worship. Nirantar means every day, morning and evening, morning and evening, morning and evening. If you have time in the afternoon, do name jap, do Gayatri Mantra jap, no problem. But every day, morning and evening, compulsorily we must do Trayambakam, we must do worship of Almighty God. When you chant this mantra, don't chant just like that. Do Homa. Like every day, when we do Homa, we chant this mantra, Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamrutat Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pativedanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanadito Mukshiyamamutah Swaha. Chant this mantra, put swaha in the burning fire. This is Yajamahe, because you are doing Yaj, you are doing Agnihotra, and then this is a Vedic procedure and you are worshipping the Almighty God of Vedas. Then this mantra will work, and this mantra has a prayer that let me come out of the birth and death cycle. How will you come out of birth and death cycle? By doing idol worship, you will not come out. By doing idol worship, you will not get moksha. By doing Vedic worship, by doing any other, by chanting Gita shloka, or by chanting Allah Allah, Rama Rama, Jesus Jesus, or by reading Quran, or by reading Bible, adopting four noble truths, nothing will lead you to moksha. Moksha will be possible only in the Vedic path. There is no other path. So that's what Sri Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati, and also my Acharya has beautifully written one word. पुनः मंत्र में ज्ञान दिया कि परमेश्वर की ऐसी पूजा करके और इस प्रकार परमात्मा की कृपा प्राप्त करके बंधनात् बेल के साथ जुड़ा हुआ उर्वारुकमिव, जैसे ककड़ी का फल पककर स्वतः बेल से अलग हो जाता है और पौष्टिक हो जाता है, वैसे ही मृत्यु, मैं मृत्यु से मुक्षी या छूट जाऊं. So similar to that cucumber, ripened cucumber which automatically comes out of the bale, let me also, by doing this worship of Almighty God, let me also come out of the mrityu. So by chanting this mantra, my lifespan will get increased. Yes, only when you are chanting it in the yajna, in the Agnihotra, and by worshipping that Almighty God of the Vedas, because there is only one Almighty God. There is no second Almighty God. Ekam Sadvipra Bahuda Vadanti, only one Sat, only one truth, and that is Almighty God of Vedas. There is no other truth. There is no other God. So please be aware, this Maha Mrityunjaya Mantra will not work. If it has worked for you, it is 100% your own karma of the previous Janma. And this karma, whatever you have chanted 100 lakh times or 1000 times, or every day somebody is doing 100 times Maha Mrityunjaya jap, this will impact you badly in the next Janmas, because you are doing worship against Almighty God. So we must be very careful in chanting these kind of mantras, because we are chanting mantra and worshipping some imaginary God who is not Almighty God. Lord Shiva had a body. That means Lord Shiva's parents were there. God is Ajayekapada, he never takes birth. God is Shukramakayam, he never has a body. So Lord Shiva was a Yogeshwar, like similar to Sri Krishna Maharaj. Shivji Maharaj was a Yogeshwar. Sri Ram was a Yogeshwar. Patanjali Muni was a Yogeshwar. So these yogis, they always worshipped Almighty God. Why not we also? They always did everyday yajna. Why not we also? So we must adopt that Vedic upasana, not any other upasana. So we must be very careful. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.